sometimes it's okay to quit. And maybe I shouldn't say quit, because quit does have a bad rep behind it, right? But it is essential to know when it's time to pivot, because every failure or every quit should lead to a pivot. And pivot could mean something different for each person in each situation. It could mean pivoting in your strategy. One way didn't work, so you're going to try to figure it out and do it a different way. But it could also mean realizing that something isn't for you, or a certain path isn't working out for you, and deciding to leave it alone and do something completely different. A lot of people keep doing things or working towards something or staying in situations that clearly aren't working out, and probably trying their hardest to make it work out just to say that they stuck it through, or they might be doing it out of spite just to prove somebody wrong, or just so they won't be able to prove somebody right. For example, let's say somebody said, oh, that'll never work out, or they probably didn't even say it in that way. They probably just warned them like, hey, if you go this route, this is bound to happen. Because, you know, been there, done that. I do feel like we shouldn't have to go through everything to learn the lesson. We should be able to look at other people's mistakes and non-mistakes to learn. We don't have to always learn the hard way. But some people like to learn the hard way, and then when the way get hard, they don't want to admit it, and they stay in the situation. And now everybody like, okay, you gonna quit? You gonna keep going? Like, we ain't gonna judge you. And some people stay in situations because they feel like they're obligated to, which, I mean, understandable for certain situations, but also no. I always hate the movie trope where it's like, oh, I told my grandmother before she died that I would do this, and I have to do that. You were 12. You're 35. Your grandma will understand. Like, I don't know. Certain things, it's like, you just gotta be real. Like I said, a lot of people see quitting as failure. Like, they couldn't do something, or they're proving somebody that said they couldn't do it right. But that's not always the case. And maybe those things could be true, but what if they aren't? Because knowing when it's time to quit is so important. Why would you waste time doing something that you know isn't working when you could spend that time doing something that is? Something that you know you should have left alone a long time ago. For example, you talking to this person that you know you should have left alone a long time ago. Every time you answer the phone call, oh, I need to leave this person alone. Oh, I need to... Same thing with all these other situations. You know you need to leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's okay to quit. It might take a while to get there if you're really optimistic or adamant about doing something and allowing something to work out, but you'll know when it's time to let it go. It's just up to you to listen to that voice that's telling you, okay, it's time to do something else. I personally have had things that didn't and still aren't working out for me, and I'd be like, yeah, it's over, it's time to do something else, let this little dream go, it's all right, it's cool. But I just keep getting pulled back in, and for some reason I'm not able to quit, unfortunately. And maybe I am the person I'm talking about in this video. But on the other hand, I've had things that I have quit and that didn't pull me back in, and me quitting it resulted in me having a better quality of life. And I didn't miss it at all. Still don't. I probably couldn't even think about half the things that I quit. Sometimes if I quit something and I still think about it, I sit down and I'm like, well, should we revisit? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Now, if your situation causes for you to either quit completely or for you to reevaluate your situation and just go on a different strategy, that's up to you and your discernment and how well you listen to your intuition and your situation. However, it is okay to quit. You shouldn't feel bad because you were intuitive enough to realize that something wasn't working, that something wasn't for you, that you were basically wasting your time, and you had the good sense enough to say, let's leave this alone, let's go on to the next thing. I actually think that that's great, as long as you're not quitting everything. As long as you actually put some thought behind it. There is nothing wrong with quitting while you're ahead. Because what if you do stay in it and things get worse and worse and worse and worse, and then by the time it get too bad and you are finally ready to quit, it's harder than it needs to be just to leave it alone. But I said all that to say, stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. It could be anything: relationships, career, endeavors, hobbies, whatever. Stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. You can quit. And you can't discipline yourself into something that's not meant for you. It's either going to make you unhappy, make you lose something, or just never work out, which is basically point 1 and point 2. But yeah, guys, learn how to pivot, know when to quit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more.